Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Republic of Play News for the 7th of June, 2018. This is sort of like the pre-E3 edition, a bit of a slower news week, although we have had some little leaks here and there, and a few interesting stories that I think would otherwise be brushed aside if it was hitting next week, alongside all of the big announcements and all the big game stuff. So, for those who don't know, Republic of Play News comes to you every Thursday here on youtube.com/republicofplay. If you like the idea of the show, which is basically hard-hitting news in the gaming industry and focused on PC as well. If you like that, leave me a comment in the comments below. Leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. And let's just get into the news. All right, first off, we do Noteworthy Releases. Boom. Noteworthy Releases, the first game I'm going to talk about is a game called Raft. This is a survival indie early access game. Never heard of one of those before, but this one actually does look quite good. I was watching some videos on YouTube and I decided to go back 2 weeks to the 23rd of May for when this released to mention it. It's got 81% very positive reviews at the moment on Steam. Looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, it does what it says in the tin. It's a co-op survival game. You're building a raft and you have to survive out at sea. You come across islands, you come across sharks, and you can go deep sea diving and stuff like that. It's actually looks like a lot of fun, and I was having a pretty good laugh watching some YouTubers that remained unnamed play it. So you might want to check it out for yourself, see if it's the kind of thing for you. It's only £15. It's a pretty cheap game. It's early access. You'll be supporting some developers if you do it. Next game along is Vampire. It's an action RPG set in London, 1918. You're a newly turned vampire Dr. Jonathan Reed. As a doctor, you must find a cure to save the city's flu-ravaged citizens. As a vampire, you are cursed to feed on those you vowed to heal. A little bit of a dilemma there. I've only heard from one other person that this is actually a very good game, a very good action RPG. The reviews at the moment are on 74%, so it's still in the mostly positive, but it could be higher, I guess. But I haven't seen too much about the game. I just want to give you the information about it. Go check out some reviews yourself if you think you might be interested in it. It does look quite cool, it looks quite polished, and it's from Don't Nod Entertainment, so respected developer there. Next along the line is another action RPG, and this time it's in the Warhammer 40k universe, and that is Inquisitor Martyr. This game came out of early access on the 5th of June, just a couple of days ago. And unfortunately, it's been met with rather mixed reviews. It's mixed on Steam at a fat 69%. And then it's a little bit lower. It's getting a bit lower at 63%. I haven't actually played the game or know really anything about it. But I know we've got a lot of Warhammer fans, so I thought it was worth mentioning. However, it seems to have pissed a lot of the hardcore Warhammer 40k fans off. At least if the reviews are anything to go by. It's a £30 game. It's not a totally full price game. Most of what reviews I've seen says just kind of full of bugs, but that's hearsay from me. I haven't actually played it. Check out Party Elite. He's doing a YouTube Let's Play series on the game, so you can see if it's for you. If you want to check him out, he knows much more about Warhammer stuff than I do, so he could tell you everything you need to know. All right, let's go on to the next and first news story. Boom. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. New leak reveals Assassin's Creed Odyssey set in ancient Greece. Update. It's official. This is from Jason Schreier over on Kotaku.com. Basically, there's not that much more information other than what I've just kind of covered. The next Assassin's Creed is called Odyssey. It'll take place in ancient Greece, according to a report from the French site Jeux Vidéo Live, which adds that Odyssey is a sequel to the last year's Assassin's Creed Origins. Kotaku can confirm this report. The official aspect of this is that they put out a tweet that just had a little "This is Sparta kicking a guy off a cliff" moment. That was a absolutely massive kick. He went miles. So, see you at E3. So, Ubisoft are going to be showing off this game in some capacity, I'm sure. And we might even see it at one of the first-party publishers like Sony or Microsoft, potentially. So, the original story, the only things I highlighted for this was it's going to have even more of a drastic departure for the series than Origins. So, Origins had a lot more Witcher elements, I guess, to it. And it was definitely a lot different to the previous Assassin's Creed games. And they took a big time gap between making it, right? So they obviously overhauled a lot of systems and tried to modernize it and kind of, I guess, become like The Witcher and other games like that. Maybe Shadow of Mordor had some influences as well. But this time it's apparently, according to the Kotaku report, even more of a drastic departure for the series than Origins was. So it's going to be bringing dialogue options to the series for the first time. You can play as either male or female protagonists, but unfortunately, we don't really have any more information other than just those two things. So, apparently it's going to be a big change for the series, and if rumors are to be believed, it was supposed to be ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, and then ancient Rome, were the next 3 classical era games. So, seems to be true so far. It's 2 out of 3, and we'll see if we get Rome next, which would be pretty cool. We did see some Romans in Origins. I enjoyed Origins quite a bit, but I'm not a big Assassin's Creed guy, so it's easier for me to come in on that game and just say, yeah, that was fun. I didn't actually even buy it. It was gifted to me by one of our very lovely senators of the Republic, and it was a lot of fun, although I didn't actually make it all the way to the end. They're massive games, and I just didn't quite have the time. So I'm stoked. I like Greece. I like ancient Egypt. I like ancient Rome. Give me those eras, and I'm pretty happy about it. And it was a pretty fun game, so maybe a bit more of an interesting story would get me hooked back in as well. All right, moving on. Boom. We got... Oh yeah, this is a small one, actually. I actually totally forgot I added this. So NoClip. For those who don't know, there's this really good YouTube channel called NoClip. They're fan-funded on Patreon, run by Danny O'Dwyer and his crew, who is he was previously kind of a prolific journalist, I guess. Anyway, he ventured out onto his own to do Patreon, to do NoClip, and he basically makes documentaries about video games and developers and how games are made and stuff like that. Really interesting one, and sometimes about the people playing them as well. There was a great one about Grand Theft Auto's community not too long ago. But I thought this is an interesting one. I haven't watched it all yet. It's an hour and 30 minutes, so it's a really, it's 90-minute long sit-down to watch the history of Bethesda Game Studios, Elder Scrolls, Fallout. I watched the first 30 minutes. It was really, really interesting, especially when they're talking about Morrowind and stuff. It's just very cool to see kind of the iterations and the advancements, I guess, the series makes over time, and then some concessions that they have to make, you know, for whatever reason. So it's just an interesting one. They also did a side video about Fallout 76 if you want to check it out. I just wanted to call it to people's attention. That's pretty much all. It's just a good video. All right, next story. Boom. GOG Summer Sale has begun, and you can claim Xenonauts for free, or Xenonauts. Xenonauts, I'm just going to call it Xenonauts. It's basically like a spiritual successor to like an XCOM game. Well, it's not really a successor because it's made by different people, but it's in the same vein of the original XCOM UFO defense games, and that's actually on sale right here. It's only there for £1. So a bunch of games are on sale over at GOG.com, and GOG Connect just got a bunch of extra games added to it, so you can link them to your Steam library and double up on the games you have. So if you've got a game in your Steam library that's eligible for GOG Connect, you connect it on GOG, and then you get it DRM free, so for no extra cost. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, like I said, claim Xenonauts for free. You spend £3 or £4, you get Sunless Sea. You spend 15, you get Rhyme. Pretty good deal. I really like that, actually. The more you spend, the more you kind of get back. I think that's actually a great system. I think Steam maybe did that like a long time ago, but they've since kind of abandoned their like almost mini games within their summer sales and stuff. And that's pretty much it. It's just kind of letting you know what's on there. I haven't really seen any major deals that have really piqued my interest. I'm affiliated with CD Keys, and they have insane deals right now. You can get Fallout 4 for like £6. You can get Stellaris for £5. You can get EU4 for £5. I don't know how they do it, but affiliate links are in the description if you want to check out what's going on over there at CD Keys. Right, let's move on. Next one's a little bit more interesting as well. We've got the Total War 3 Kingdoms delay. Now, for those who may be clued into my YouTube channel, I put up a video reacting or breaking down their trailer and then discussing the delay and a few extra things that came along in this blog that they put up alongside it. So I've already kind of done it to death. I'm not going to talk about it too much. Basically, they're delaying the game from fall 2018 to spring 2019. So the game is probably roughly around 9 months out. I reckon it's going to be a March release. Could be pushed to April, but I think March is like a popular month for releasing games. I don't know why. Probably just because of the fiscal year, actually. So probably going to see it in March. So Total War 3 Kingdoms is the next major Total War historical title game and is set in the titular period of ancient China. It launches in spring 19. That's basically all they said. They didn't give any reasons for the delay or anything like that, but I say take all the time you need. Delaying the game means, you know, it can pretty much only get better, and maybe they're listening to feedback from other games, or maybe they just had bad time management, or they do want to put extra stuff in. Who knows? But either way, it's probably going to be good news. And at E3, I believe we're going to be seeing some footage of the game right around the corner. So probably at the PC Gamer show, or maybe they'll just put out a trailer themselves. Who knows? We'll see. All right, moving on again. Next story. Wow, we're blitzing through it today. Red Dead Redemption pre-order announced. This one we might actually spend a little bit of extra time on. The Red Dead Redemption 2 Special Edition, Ultimate Edition, and Collector's Box pre-order now to get the War Horse and whatever. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about this for too long, but this stuff, like, I mean, pre-orders, we're used to it now, right? You see it everywhere. It's fine. I get it, but it's just like, I'll tell you why. Okay, let's get into it. So, Warhorse. This handsome iron grey, blah, blah, blah. You get an extra horse. The Outlaw Survival Kit contains a collection of key supplies for enduring the rigors of life on the frontier, including items to replenish health, Deadeye, and more. And then they've got the digital pre-order bonus, the special edition, the ultimate edition, and the collector's box. So let's have a look at the thing that's kind of grinding my gears right now, and that is the bank robbery mission and gang hideout in story mode. So in this one, they've locked off, I guess, or they've created it additionally, a bank robbery mission and gang hideout. Now, for a little description about that is get exclusive access to a bank robbery mission in which Arthur and a couple of his fellow gang members come up with a daring plan to break in and rob the bank in the southern town of Rhodes. Elsewhere, the Del Lobos gang has taken over a hacienda, clear this gang's hideout and rob their stash for a lucrative take. You know what? The gang hideout? Fine. Bank robbery mission? Really? You're gonna like lock that one off? Bank robbery mission? There was only like one in GTA 4. And there's only like, I think only maybe 2 or 3 in GTA 5. They're the best missions. There better be fucking loads of them in this. Better be a dime a dozen getting bank robbery missions. I know it's the Wild West and you probably do rob a lot of banks, but if there's loads of them, then it's like, oh, okay. But still, I don't know, locking off missions, man, that's not good. So that's just disappointing. You know, they always take... You don't expect it from Rockstar really too much, but that's just the way they're going. But they always take a little bit more. You know, it's always like, oh, it's the cosmetic hats and the horse and the gun. And now it's like, oh, it's a little mission. What's it going to be for Red Dead 3? What's it going to be for GTA 6? You know? So it just sucks. It sets a precedent and I hate it. So don't pre-order. But anyway, that's kind of that. If we want to have a look, it says it's available on their Rockstar warehouse. You can see what price it is. Game is $74.99 for the special edition. £74.99. That's like $90. $90. And that's just the first edition, the special edition. If we go then to the ultimate edition, what extra do you get? Well, you get online content. You get free access to additional weapons. Black Chestnut Thoroughbred. I was thinking, what does that mean? Rank bonuses. Bonus outfits and free survival camp theme. An exclusive world map. And an exclusive steelbook. Okay, so that's everything you get extra. I'm not going to mention the fact that you get a slipcover. Come on. How much is this then? How much extra is this? Rockstar Warehouse, $89.99. So for another $15, you basically get just a bunch of fucking... anyway. Apologies for cursing. I'm extremely tired today. I might be a little irritable. Got about 2 to 3 hours sleep. So you just get some skins and some bonuses and stuff like that, and then you get a map. It's like, I don't know. The map is kind of nice, the steelbook's kind of nice, but Jesus Christ, $100 for that? Like, that's $100. And here's the other crazy thing then. So then you get the Red Dead Redemption 2 Collector's Box. Now this has a treasure map, which is actually a pretty cool idea, I think. If it is what I think it is, which is an actual in-world treasure map that then you can find treasure in the game, right? That's buried or hidden. Metal tithing box with lock and key, double-sided puzzle, bunch of cards, cigarette cards, collectible challenge coins, 6-shooter bandana, playing cards, etc. Doesn't come with the game. Red Dead Redemption 2 sold separately, and this is the same price as that. So it's another $100. If you wanted to get that and this, it's $200. Now, to be honest, this is all none of this stuff looks good. Maybe the treasure map is kind of a nice idea. Maybe playing cards is a little bit fun too. But apart from that, it's like, Jesus, $100. It's just crazy. But anyway, that's all we're going to talk about there. Don't pre-order it. Don't support that stuff. It sucks. That's awful. And it's only going to get worse if you do support that kind of thing. Doesn't matter if you're hyped for the game. Just buy it the day before. Just buy it the day before and you're fine. Although some of them, I guess, are how they get you. This stuff like the box is limited in supply. So maybe if you really do want to get it. All right. Next one is Creative Assembly to make an FPS game. What? That's right. Creative Assembly is hiring to produce a tactical shooter. As a slew, this is written by Dominic Tarrison over on Rock Paper Shotgun. So as a slew of job postings on the career site include repeated mention of a brand new and exciting first-person tactical shooter IP being produced at their primary studio in Horsham, UK. Hey, that's where I live. That's really all we're going to mention there. That's the team that would have been working on Alien Isolation. Their next game is going to be a tactical shooter IP. Who knows when we're going to get to see it. I doubt it'll be at E3. But maybe next E3, and then we might see a trailer, get some information. So that is their console team. As mentioned in this article, these guys would have made Spartan Total Warrior, Viking Battle for Asgard. Don't know how many of them are obviously still there and not, and how big the team has grown since. Oh, and then they would have made Halo Wars as well, actually after Alien Isolation. But maybe they're using their... I don't know if they had their own engine for Alien Isolation, but that game looked spectacular in terms of visual fidelity. Obviously, it was like a corridor kind of FPS game, but... if it was something like that and they're using that same engine, it would probably look amazing. So interested to see what they're able to pull off. Alien Isolation was a stand-up game. It just seems like Halo Wars, maybe not, and maybe the games before that weren't too crazy. But if we see a little bit more of that Alien Isolation magic in a first-person tactical shooter, it's interesting that they're making this move though. So Sega are making a first-person tactical shooter, brand new IP. That's an interesting one. Very interesting. Trying to play with the big boys, maybe. Trying to make a big splash on the FPS scene. It's a very crowded market. See how they do. Wonder will it be multiplayer? How could it not be multiplayer, right? Anyway. So that's enough speculation. That's pretty much all we're going to talk about for this week's Republic of Play news. Let me know what you think of the stories below. Let me know if you like this kind of show. So apologies for being a little bit tired today. And then, like I said, the stories are very short. Because it is E3 week coming up next week. I'm going to be watching E3, as I may have mentioned at the beginning, on twitch.tv/RepublicOfPlay over the next few days. I'll be reacting to it and just watching it with you guys, having maybe a whiskey or something, and just watching the conferences. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll be relatively out of the way, not like, you know, talking over trailers and stuff like that, but just kind of reacting to them as they happen in the breaks in between and stuff. So it's going to be kind of fun. I'm going to be doing 5 predictions for each conference as well, which I haven't come up with yet, so I wasn't able to do it for this video. Anyway, appreciate any support you leave on this video, and let me know if you like it. Let me know if you hate it, and maybe I'll stop.